Cypress Fairbanks Independent School District presents 12 Critical Elements of PBIS Level 1, Part 3 of 3. We will explore the last 5 of the 12 critical elements of PBIS, beginning with classroom systems, discipline procedures, data collection, evaluating and reporting, and finish with community involvement. The 8th critical element is classroom systems. Having sound classroom procedures is key to having a classroom that runs smoothly. Work with your teachers to create and implement procedures for everything. When teachers are having challenges or difficulties, a procedure is usually the answer. Not sure how to help your teachers write effective procedures? Use the CHAMPS worksheet to be sure you've thoroughly thought through each component. All classrooms should have a respect agreement. Some call it a social contract, some call it their class norms, and some may call it a community agreement. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's imperative that every classroom have one. The respect agreement is foundational to having a restorative classroom. Speaking of restorative classrooms, do your teachers have a defined place in their classroom for a student to cool off? Being proactive and teaching all students how to access this area as needed can help diffuse emotions and begin to teach students how to self-regulate. In part 2 of this series, we discuss the importance of developing your staff through professional development. Here's an example of strategies you can prepare and teach your staff as it relates to classroom behavior strategies. Provide them with specific examples on how to handle behaviors in each of the 3 behavior tiers. Be sure that you have clearly communicated what behaviors you expect the teacher to handle in the classroom, what behaviors the behavior coach should handle, and what behaviors administration will handle. Using this guideline will increase communications on your campus and leave little room for misunderstandings. The 9th critical element is discipline procedures. Reducing the number of referrals is one of PBIS's long-term goals. In order to move your more challenging students towards success, you must create specific processes that handle negative behaviors in a positive way. If the students knew how to make better choices, they would often do that. It is imperative that teachers be working with students to teach them the skills they lack. This begins with foundational social skills lessons. Your teacher should also have some sort of restorative think sheet in their classroom. Having the student reflect on their actions affords the student a cooling off time and a guide for teacher conversation. Have you given teachers guidance on admin's expectations regarding how to handle challenging situations in the classroom? Providing teachers a roadmap will often go a long way. The 10th critical element is data collection. Remember to look at several different data sources, such as office referrals, attendance records, and call logs. Regarding discipline referrals, be sure to run reports from Cognos so that your data ties to district data. Be sure that you're digging into the data deep enough to determine exactly what the problem is. You don't want to implement something school-wide when the problem was just one grade level. It doesn't matter how you share your monthly data, just that you do. Here's an example of a campus who shares their PBIS information via their online staff portal. The 11th critical element is evaluation and reporting. How are you evaluating the health of PBIS on your campus? Are you conducting student, staff, and family surveys every year? On the student survey, ask more than just what incentives they want. On the family survey, be sure to include questions specifically about PBIS. Are you sharing the outcomes with all stakeholders? The goal: ask, listen, Implement. This will help with buy-in from all stakeholders. The 12th critical element is community involvement. These are your stakeholders. They are all viable pieces in promoting change and growth in student behaviors. How are you bringing them all together? Some campuses have provided parents a home matrix. This matrix allows parents to see how their students can be respectful, responsible, and safe at school and at home. While this matrix adds what those expectations might look like in their neighborhood. Not all students may need this detailed of a plan, but we want you to see that there are many ways to help students with their social skills and behavior expectations. In closing, know that the implementation of PBIS can have positive results on student outcomes, reduction of discipline, and improved teacher outcomes. What are the next steps for your campus? We encourage you to meet with your PBIS leadership team and discuss the 12 critical elements that you've learned about in this 3-part series. We hope you've found this information to be beneficial. To summarize classroom systems, be sure to have clear and concise procedures, a respect agreement, a spot for your students to cool off, and a clear delineation of teacher versus office managed behaviors. To summarize discipline procedures, teach students what they can't do. We don't often think about teaching them the behavior skills that they are lacking. Have teachers use restorative think sheets and other discipline procedures to build relationships in their classroom. To summarize data collection, use many types of data to determine your next steps. Keep digging until you've determined exactly what is driving your data. Be sure to share data results with staff each month. Evaluation and reporting. How are you evaluating the health of PBIS on your campus? If you're not progress monitoring, PBIS on your campus may end up in the ER. And lastly, community involvement. Are you doing what's necessary to bring information to all of your stakeholders? Have you elicited feedback from all of your stakeholders? Remember, they are all viable pieces in promoting change and growth in student behaviors. Thank you for taking time to view our 3-part series on 12 critical elements of PBIS Level 1. We appreciate you taking time to participate in our professional development on demand.